Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the first game of this Best of 3 series. I believe this is a Night Elf mirror. Night Elf here, Night Elf here. Yes, I am actually correct. Yeah. Let's just introduce the players. In the top left we have XiXi spawning in as the pink Night Elf player. And his opponent is going to be spawning in the bottom right, and it is going to be LawLiet, the yellow Night Elf player. It is a cross spawn on the map Turtle Rock. So this game I would expect to drag out for a while. I would expect these two Goblin Merchant camps to actually be taken rather early on and be utilized to the fullest. Yada yada yada. Let's get into this game. The Altar of Elder has yet to be completed, so we don't see which hero is actually being selected. It looks like it's going to be the standard Altar of Elder time, so we won't have any nonsense builds like the Swarmer Dark Ranger. The Agent of War has been placed down next to this green creep camp. Meanwhile, LawLiet has began to start by this orange creep camp. Nothing's really too different about these two camps over here, and I guess the route that the players actually take is not entirely different either. Basically, this green and this orange drops basically potentially the same items, so there's not really that much difference besides the amount of experience you gain. And seeing as, I would expect both players to go after these two camps anyway, it's not really that different. There we go with the uprooting on the Agent of War, and XiXi will be starting to creep out. The Ancient of War has yet to eat the tree, so he needs to be careful try not to lose it as well. Having many archers early on is generally how you would want to play against a fellow Night Elf, especially since you don't know if they picked Demon Hunter or if they picked a Warden. Either way, LawLiet has picked himself a Ring Protection +2, and XiXi has picked himself that +3 intelligence item. And there we go right there. As we can see from XiXi, he did begin to actually move on to this creep camp as well. Nice pathing right there from the Wisp. And XiXi with the +3 intelligence, although the mantle is ideally the best item to pick up besides the +6 claws, on the Demon Hunter it's not really that important unless you have Immolation as your ability, I guess. Either way, don't want to aggro that red creep camp, not one bit. I wouldn't expect Night Elf early game to actually be any match for that a particular creep camp, especially with an Ancient of War alongside creeping. Unless you bring in like many wisps, then it's not really worth doing that. But either way, second +2 ring from this Ogre camp, so LawLiet going for just 2 Ogre camps in a row. He did not go for this Green Creek camp, not one bit, and they go with the mantle being sold for the Demon Hunter. It looks like he picked up a Circlet of Nobility from this creep camp. He didn't finish it off entirely, he just took down the Warriors, and I don't expect him to clear out this camp either. He's just going to go after this Watcher camp, or Watcher Magi. There we go, and a Pair Up the Vitality has been purchased. Or, not purchased, picked up. So, yep. Tier 2 is on its way, halfway completed right there. Same thing for LawLiet. Ancient of Wonders has been placed down, and I would assume the same thing will be happening for XiXi as well. There's the Hunter's Hold. Has LawLiet placed down a Hunter's Hold? Does not look like it. Nope. Oh, are we gonna have an engagement right here? It's 3 archers versus 4, it looks like. Oh no, it's actually 4 archers versus 2. So, gotta keep that in mind. LawLiet has more archers than XiXi does. There we go with the Wisp. Wisp will be taken out. Meanwhile, this archer for LawLiet will not be able to escape that Demon Hunter, as he does have the boots, and the, I guess, Moonwells were not just in the range. I might zoomed in a little bit. I have no idea. If you don't know, my mouse wheel is actually kind of screwed up a little bit. So I do apologize, and these archers, I would assume they would make it, and yes they would, and they have plenty of Moonwells to actually heal up with. Oh, XiXi's going after more archers as well. LawLiet might not be able to save this one either. There we go. Surprising that despite having both boots, XiXi's managed to pick up 2 kills while LawLiet hasn't been able to do that at all. Oh, there we go, then instant smackdown on that, I believe, Ancient of Lore. And yeah, I would assume it just being placed down again, as the Wisp was able to come out from the Ancient of Lore, and yes, it is Ancient of Lore, so it was not cancelled. Meanwhile, over at the base of LawLiet, he is going tier 3 as well, and he has himself an Ancient of Wind. So we're gonna go Lore versus Wind. That is going to be an interesting matchup. Dots versus Dryads and Bears. I would usually favor the Lore units because they are technically stronger. Naga Sea Witch coming out as the second hero for LawLiet. No second hero for XiXi. Is he going for an altar hero? Yes, he is actually. He's going for a Keeper of the Grove. That is going to be an interesting pick right there, in my opinion. And seeing as we both players have rushed tier 3, I would assume a third hero coming in as well. There we go, the mana burn on XiXi's Demon Hunter, and XiXi is actually going to return the favor as well. So he's going to go straight after that Wisp, but the Wisp was able to slip by that Altar of Elders, and XiXi, I would imagine him forcing to use that town portal, and nice block right there from the Wisps, and I would imagine this TV scroll being used, and yes it will be. By the 7-minute mark it's not that disadvantageous, but seeing as he was the first one to be forced to use it, it is not a good thing to actually have. Either way, Keeper of the Grove with the Preservation Staff right there. Hopefully we'll be able to try to do something. There we go with the mana burn, but I'm so tempted to call him the cog, but you know, some people might not get it. Either way, there we go with the second mana burn. Keeper of the Grove does have quite a bit of mana, but he can't take those burns every single time. It does not bode well, I guess. Either way, this Watcher camp might actually be claimed for LawLiet, so that means that the Watcher rewards will be given 1 each to each player. Let's look at the armor composition that will be coming out for XiXi. It looks like Abolish Magic and those Dryads will be coming out. I would assume Dots coming in for LawLiet, and I would assume right. Oh, we actually have a couple of Dots for LawLiet out already, or at least used to be out, and one was actually taken down before. There we go with an Entangle on an Archer. Generally why people would take a Keeper of the Grove, just to try and pick them up. Basically a more enhanced version of an Ensnare from the Raiders, except in hero form like the Keeper of the Grove. Dark Ranger as the third hero picked up an Orb of Venom, so that I guess would assume improve the Black Arrow chance. I have no idea. Third hero might be picked up here, and it is going to be a Goblin Tinker. So Pocket Factory, most likely his first ability, and usually his only and reliable ability. Either way, Potion of Invulnerability right there will be picked up. These camps always drop consumables, either the greater healing or mana potion, the Wand of Mana Stealing, or the 15-second invulnerability potion. It looks like the greater mana potion has been picked up for the Goblin Tinker. So it's going to be a Demon Hunter versus Demon Hunter, Keeper of the Grove versus Naga Sea Witch, and the Dark Ranger versus the Tinker. That is quite a matchup, I would say. Level 3 on that Demon Hunter, and looks like the same thing for LawLiet. So we have, oh, was that Tome of Experience? That might have been. That would be a huge advantage, because Goblin Tinker will probably have his Cluster Rockets by level 2. Cluster Rockets basically is a form of random AoE stun. It's not that long of a stun, but it is still a stun. I mean, you know, gotta consider that. The item is going to be a close of attack plus 12, I believe that's what it was. I have no idea where we picked this one up from though. Either way, it looks like XiXi is also clearing out the Ogre Lord camp. The item from this one will be, hopefully an aura item. It is going to be a Kajir's Pipe of Insight. That is going to be the Brilliance aura for XiXi's army. Basically one of the best aura items that could drop. And, oh, are we seeing a little bit of betrayal right here? And then Archer is going to be taken out. Yeah, that was to actually bring XiXi down from low upkeep to no upkeep. So everyone is basically channeling their inner Archmage. Circlet of Nobility has been picked up right there. The Demon Hunter has picked himself a Potion of Healing and a Anti-Magic Potion. We also have Mountain Giants being added to the mix for the Pink Night Elf army, and that actually might be smart, especially since he is going to go up against dots. Now, I generally thought that the Mountain Giants, when they had their resistant skin, that they would be immune to magic. Apparently that's not the case. Apparently they just have the hero's classification of magic resistance. I think that's like 66% reduction in terms of effects, but not damage. That is the only difference. Damage is not reduced at all, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, Mountain Giants still pretty tough guys to actually take down. Plus 4 armor, and they have the possibility of upgrading through the Hunter Soul. Now actually we are going to start upgrading. I believe that is plus 1 in armor, and yes, I would be correct on that. So it looks like both players took down the Troll Warlord. The item from the Troll Warlord will be a Robo Magi plus 6, so that's plus 6 intelligence. This one dropped Devotion Aura. Ugh. Now speaking of one of the best aura items, we have one of the worst ones. Yeah. Either way, we are actually sieging XiXi's main base from LawLiet. Is going to take down a Moonwell, I would assume. He already took down an Ancient of War. There we go with the Cyclone on the Demon Hunter. Cyclones usually last 20 seconds, but with heroes it's a totally different story. Either way, this will be rather difficult for the Demon Hunter to deal with alone, but there we go with XiXi's, the rest of XiXi's army basically. Mountain Giants are really scary creatures, and LawLiet obviously respects that and will retreat. I have no idea why this Ancient of War is here, but that actually makes me laugh a little bit. Either way, oh, LawLiet's placing down more Ancient of Wars. He is also bringing himself to expand a second time. He's already expanded in the bottom left. XiXi has expanded in the top right. LawLiet's just trying to get the economic advantage, which I would assume XiXi would actually try to catch up to. Ultra Vision, a surprising upgrade that has yet to actually be completed, as well as Wellsprings, which is, of course, a wonderful upgrade. XiXi is upgrading to plus 1 attack for those Dryads and Mountain Giants. Mountain Giants are just such good creatures, able to have either normal attack types or siege attack types, which I believe siege is the best against dots, which it is. So the Ultra Vision will be coming up very soon. You can see, I guess, well, you really can't see the difference between the Vision, mainly because of the Watch Award, but either way, XiXi is going to start being on the offensive, trying to take down one of these Ancient of Wars. These production buildings have yet to produce anything as far as I know, so a little surprised that they were placed down. That being said, LawLiet is still sticking to no upkeep. Anyway, I would assume XiXi would be in, I guess, more favorable compared to his opponent. His army composition is clearly better than LawLiet's. I don't think Cyclone is actually castable on Mountain Giants because they have that resistance skin. Um, they still can get fairy fired, but that's pretty much it. And of course, Cyclone is not a particularly good ability against this type of armor composition because the Dryads are a problem. The Dryads, they have a lot of mana in their pool. They have 200 mana, and the only ability they can cast is an auto-cast ability, which is called Abolish Magic. Yes, that magical ability that can dispel cyclones rather instantly. Anyway, there we go with the Fairy Fire on the Mountain Giant. It is +1 armor, so it does have +6 with +1 on that Devotion Ore, but the Fairy Fire will reduce it by 4. However, you know, 3 armor is still quite a bit to actually deal with. Tinker is forced to use that TP scroll at the main base, so it's not that far. Anti-Magic Potion will try to save that Demon Hunter. He still has his 15-second invulnerability potion. I don't think he'll actually use it. Scroll of Protection has been used on LawLiet's army. He does have one more Scroll of Healing. I would assume he already purchased another one though. Oh. So yeah. Either way, double Ancient of War is being placed down once again. LawLiet has finally gone over upkeep. Same as XiXi. He is sitting on 70 over 70. Looking to expand over here, and LawLiet is basically mining off 3 bases. I would assume by this timing that the main gold mines will be out by probably 5 minutes or maybe 6. There we go with a nice healing, scroll of healing, but the silence on top of those dots is going to be rather painful for them to actually fight over here. There we go with the Folk Lightning. Although the damage may look like it's reduced, it's just that these guys are really hard to kill. Mountain Giants might actually be killed off simultaneously here. One will drop. Level 4 on that Demon Hunter for, and yeah, there we go with the Invulnerability Potion. Will this giant drop or will he not? LawLiet will lose himself his Naga Sea Witch at level 3. Ancient of Wars are also being added to the army mix here. Maybe that's the purpose of these Ancient of Wars. Or not. They're just producing archers. Which, if he actually stays with, I don't think he will be in a good position later on. This is becoming to go into late game, and archers are not really the best to actually go into that, especially unupgraded 0/0 archers. And dots don't actually use upgrades. This is not that big of an army for XiXi right now. Where is the rest of his army? Well, he might not even be... Oh, actually he is 72. I thought he would be a little lower than that, but apparently not. He only has 1 giant as well. That is a problem. Oh, there's the second one though. It could be picked off, but I don't think that could actually happen easily. LawLiet is going to try and fend this off. There we go with the taunt right there from the Mountain Giant. Oh, actually he can be Cyclone. That... Ooh. That was a huge mistake on my part. I would assume that he couldn't be stunned or ensnared, so he couldn't be Cyclone, but apparently that was not the case. Either way, 3 giants. This is not looking good for LawLiet. He is going to lose that Pocket Factory, which does get taken out very quickly by Mountain Giants with siege damage. Tinker has lost his life, so that is going to be the second hero lost for LawLiet. That is not looking good at all. What is his counter to this? I would assumed Hippogriff Riders would be coming in by now, but these archers are pretty much bare naked. Ancient of Winds, they're not producing Hippogriffs at all. We might not even see Hippogriff Riders at all. I mean, the last and only time we've seen Hippogriff Riders on this channel was, I believe, when Tho was off racing, and that worked out so successfully, I would say. So efficiently on all fronts. But I guess those Dryads would be a problem. Yeah. 2/2 Dryads, 2/2 Giants as well. We are going to 3/2 and most likely 3/3 later on, but wow, XiXi is actually doing it well in terms of upgrades. He is going to get his 3rd base. Meanwhile, LawLiet has been reduced to 2 bases. He is trying to get his 3rd base back, but it looks like it's going to be taken out by XiXi like right now. Oh, there we go with cancellation and detonation right there. Very close to level 4 on Dark Ranger and Keeper of the Grove. The Demon Hunter, I would assume, is close to level 5 as well. Halfway there. Demon Hunter for LawLiet, about quarter. Nagasi Witch, kinda close to level 4, and the Tinker has yet to be revived. So apparently LawLiet's answer to this is Fairy Dragons, who I guess would do well against those Dryads because they had that phase out ability, but there has to be a lot of Fairy Dragons to try and make this work, because there's already a lot of Dryads out already. There is about 6, maybe 7. I count 6 so far. There might be more coming in later on. We are at potentially a 90 supply, but I don't think XiXi would go for that high upkeep at all. There we go with simultaneous level 4s, and yeah, nothing really much to say. This is pretty much the waiting stage. Let's see which of these two players would be the most patient. XiXi's third base might not be looking too good, but LawLiet's main base could pretty much speak for the same. But he's actually going to creep out this orange creep camp, so I might force a TP right there if XiXi does have a TP scroll, which he actually does. And I would assume LawLiet, yeah, he is actually TPing out of there. Try not to lose any of these units, and which he actually does successfully. Now the main bases have been mined out. LawLiet's only mining off one base, meanwhile XiXi is mining off 2.
A player's forces are under attack.
And both players are at low upkeep, so they get about 7 gold per trip. Or per tick. For Night Elves, I guess. So you better keep that in mind. This expansion has yet to be rebuilt, and XiXi is just... he's gonna try and make that, I guess, a concurrent fact. Detonation right there, taking down at least one Dark Minion, and LawLiet's main army is actually sitting in the middle of the map. We have 8 Fairy Dragons, and I guess that's enough if those Fairy Dragons focus fire. Tree of Eternity is actually moving, but that leaves the main base rather exposed, and this Hunter Soul is upgrading +1 attack in the for the archers, and that might not actually be finished in time for these Mountain Giants to actually start bashing against this Hunter Soul. And yeah, you can see the damage just increase as those Mountain Giants start to attack. And there we go, it has been destroyed. Pocket Factory has been placed down for LawLiet. Really, rally point should be set. We do see those Fairy Dragons are going to be focus firing those Dryads. They can mitigate some damage by phasing out of reality, and we also have a lot of Wisps being pulled to try and detonate, try to get rid of the mana of these Dryads, basically as a backup plan just in case these Fairy Dragons don't complete their mission. We do have a couple of bears being added to the mix as well. XiXi managed to taking down one of LawLiet's heroes, the Demon Hunter to be precise, and that is going to be a huge blow. Level 5 on XiXi's Demon Hunter. XiXi might lose himself a giant. No, he will not. He'll use that stat preservation to very much cost efficient purposes. However, that might not be said for this particular giant right here. Either way, we do hear a lot of Dryads being taken out. Archers are following as well, but not enough compared to XiXi's own units. Keeper of Grove will start that TP scroll, and we did see the cluster rockets being utilized as well. Tinkerer almost died once, I guess almost died again. But yep, not enough DPS. It looks like both players has migrated both of their Tree of Eternities. However, I think despite LawLiet winning that fight, he did lose a lot in it. He is going to Tavern Revive his level 4 Demon Hunter. That is not particularly cheap. He detonated basically all of his Wisps. That is not good. And it looks like XiXi is actually coming back for a counterattack. He can basically rejuvenate his Mountain Giants back to relatively full health instead of using that Moonwell. XiXi is also sitting on a lot of gold. Okay, Force of Nature is being used again. Not really that threatening, as they do actually get taken out very quickly by dots. But LawLiet is going to add in Ancient of Wars Uprooted to the mix. They were with Cluster Rockets again. The Demon Hunter, very close to dying right there, will be Staff of Preservation away. Bears might be able to be taken out by LawLiet, but that might actually happen. Tinker has been taken down by XiXi, but XiXi will lose a couple of bears. He might even lose all of his bears. I believe that was his second one down. His third one looks like it will follow. The Demon Hunter, even though he was preserved, was only preserved for like a couple of meters away. And there we go. XiXi looks like he is going to stomp on the tier 1 units, the archers, and get even stronger units, the level 3 dark minions. GG from LawLiet, and that is going to be a rather lengthy game. Wow. That actually took quite a lot out of me. I might have to postpone game 2 for next time. I do apologize for not uploading as much as I would, but at least I'm trying to make this consistent. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.